Today is Thursday, a beautiful day outside, but a totally chaotic, messy day in the soap world. I am running on way too much coffee and staring at this screen with tired eyes, but we have to talk about this. I meant to organize my notes, but honestly, I just need to vent, so let's get into it. So let's start with Brooke Logan Forrester, because wow, the woman is having a full-blown mental breakdown right in front of our eyes. And for what? We literally saw her get into an actual physical altercation with Katie Logan Spencer. She is shoving her sister. She is destroying Logan property. She literally smashed the Logan monitor and ripped down the sign. I mean, what is happening right now? Brooke is acting like Katie kidnapped Hope and held her hostage in a dark basement for 10 years. But let's be real here. Hope just joined a different fashion house. That is literally it. She didn't jump off a bridge. She didn't commit a massive felony. She didn't do anything illegal. She just took a new job because Forrester Creations was treating her like absolute garbage. And Brooke is reacting like this is the biggest tragedy in the history of the world. It is so ridiculous. Honestly, I am actually getting a little worried about Brooke's mental state at this point, because this reaction is not normal. It is just not a normal motherly reaction to your adult daughter making a career choice. Mothers are supposed to support their kids, right? A good mother would say, "Hey, I am so proud of you for standing up for yourself and launching this amazing new line that everyone loves." But no, not Brooke. Brooke is throwing a massive, destructive temper tantrum. She is acting so unhinged that it makes me wonder if the writers are setting up a medical storyline for her. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. It just feels like she is completely losing her grip on reality and nobody is calling her out on it. Let's talk about Brooke's history for a second. She has always been emotional, we know that. We have watched her cry a million tears over the years, but violent, smashing things. That is a new level of unhinged. She is acting like Katie committed a crime against humanity. And let's not forget, Brooke and Katie have a long, messy history of fighting over men, specifically Bill Spencer. But fighting over a fashion line, fighting over Hope's employment, it just feels so bizarre. Katie is just running a business. She saw a talented designer who was being mistreated, and she hired her. That is what CEOs do. But Brooke is taking it so personally, like Katie plotted this in a dark room just to destroy Brooke's life. And then we have Hope. Poor, stressed out, completely guilty Hope. She has to physically step in and break up this insane fight between her mother and her aunt. Imagine being a grown woman, a successful lead designer who just had a massive hit on the runway. And you have to pull your mother off your aunt because they are fighting over your employment contract like it's a piece of meat. It is embarrassing. So Hope steps in and she begs Brooke to just understand her decision. She is pleading with her. Hope is literally begging her own mother to just look at her and understand why she had to do this to save her career, but Brooke is having absolutely none of it. Brooke is just standing there with this cold, furious, unforgiving look on her face. But let's zoom out for a second and talk about why Brooke is actually acting like this. Because it is not just about Hope working for Katie. It is never just about Hope. It is about Ridge. It is always Ridge. Brooke is terrified that Hope's decision is going to cause friction in her marriage. She is so scared that Ridge is going to blame her or that this is going to push Ridge away from her. And that is the driving force behind every single thing Brooke does. She makes everything about her relationship with that man. It is exhausting to watch. I am so tired of watching Brooke sacrifice her relationship with her own daughter just to keep Ridge happy and keep the peace at Forrester. It is a terrible look for her and it makes me so mad. So no matter what Hope says in that office, it is not going to work. Hope is trying to explain her side, trying to say she had her own reasons for leaving, but she is talking to a brick wall. Brooke is just going to keep feeling betrayed and playing the victim. And it breaks my heart for Hope because you can see the exact moment she realizes she cannot fix this. Her mother is choosing the Forrester side over her own flesh and blood. Hope's heart is just shattering right there on the screen. She wanted her mom to be proud of her. But instead, she gets this awful ultimatum and this cold rejection where Brooke says she can't even look at her the same way anymore. It is just sad. It really is. Meanwhile, back at Forrester Creations, we have Ridge and RJ pacing around and worrying, because of course they are. Ridge is talking to RJ about the whole situation, and he is just so deeply concerned about what is happening between Brooke and Hope. Ridge is acting like the Logan family is literally crumbling to dust right in front of him. He is telling RJ that Brooke is never going to get over this betrayal. He is predicting all this doom and gloom, and sure, Ridge knows Brooke better than anyone. He knows she holds a grudge, and he knows she is unstable right now. But again, I have to ask, what betrayal? What are they even talking about? What actual betrayal are they talking about? I feel like I am taking crazy pills watching these episodes. Hope was put on an indefinite leave of absence. Steffi shelved her entire line. Zen's designs were thrown in the trash. Hope had no creative control, no future, no nothing at Forrester Creations, so she left. She found someone who would actually let her work and put her name on a brand. How is that a betrayal? It is called capitalism, you guys. It is called business. But Ridge is sitting there acting like Hope committed high treason against the crown. It is so frustrating to watch these people live in their little Forrester bubble where they think they own everyone and everything and no one is ever allowed to leave. And speaking of Ridge, let's talk about his massive hypocrisy here. Ridge is acting so high and mighty, like the Forresters are this beacon of loyalty and morality. But how many times has Ridge bounced back and forth between Brooke and Taylor? How many times has he made decisions that hurt his family? He literally just promoted Zende to lead designer of Hope for the future without even telling Hope. He made a huge creative decision about her brand while she was on leave, and he didn't even pick up the phone. And now he has the nerve to be mad that Hope left. It is infuriating. He pushed her out the door, and now he is crying that she is gone. And then RJ chimes in. RJ is sitting there agreeing with his dad. He knows his mom, and he predicts that there are going to be massive, severe consequences for Hope's choice. He thinks Hope just made the biggest mistake of her entire life. But honestly, what was Hope supposed to do? Was she supposed to just sit at home forever? Was she supposed to wait around for 10 years until Steffi finally decided to give her a crumb of attention? No, she took control of her life. I used to think RJ was the smart one, the rational one in the family, but right now he is just echoing his dad's ridiculous talking points, and it is super annoying. But wait, maybe I am being too hard on RJ. Let me walk that back a little bit. He is caught in the middle of a massive family war. His mom is having a meltdown, his dad is stressed out, his sister is the cause of all the drama. So yeah, I guess it makes sense that he is worried and just wants it to stop. He just wants peace in his family. But peace is never going to happen on this show, we all know that. The writers love to drag this stuff out for months and months. So we are going to be hearing Ridge and RJ complain about this betrayal until at least Christmas. Mark my words, they're not going to let this go anytime soon. So let's shift gears for a minute because there is another whole layer of mess happening with the younger crowd. And it is getting juicy. We have to talk about Electra and Will. Their relationship is basically on life support right now. Electra is so furious with Will because he lied to her. He kept all these massive Logan secrets from her to protect his family's business. And honestly, I get why she is mad. You cannot build a relationship on lies. You just can't. Let's break down exactly what Will was hiding, because it wasn't just one little white lie. He was hiding the fact that Hope was the mystery designer. He was hiding the fact that Shauna Fulton was launching a rival jewelry line right under Electra's nose. And he was hiding the fact that Bill and Katie were using the Hope for the Future diamond for the launch, the exact same diamond that Electra was desperately trying to find for her own collection. That is a massive amount of deception. Will was basically a double agent, sleeping with the enemy while his parents plotted to destroy Forrester Creations. So yeah, Electra has every right to be absolutely livid. But I also kind of feel bad for Will. He was put in an impossible situation by Katie and Bill. They swore him to secrecy. What was he supposed to do? Betray his own parents and his family legacy? So he kept his mouth shut, and now his girlfriend hates him. The tension between Electra and Will is just off the charts right now. They are hitting some major speed bumps. And I don't know if they are going to survive this. Especially with RJ lurking in the background, just waiting for things to fall apart. Yes, let's talk about RJ and Electra, because we all saw that hug. RJ is hovering around, comforting Electra while she is mad at Will, and you guys know how this show works. A comfort hug is never just a comfort hug on a soap opera. It is a stepping stone to a messy love triangle. RJ is predicting that Electra's world is falling apart, and he is right there to pick up the pieces. I am seriously wondering if RJ is going to make another move on her now that she is so vulnerable and angry at Will. But wait a second, what about Melissa Dillon? RJ is currently dating Melissa. They just had that whole magical, passionate night at his new beach house. They are supposed to be a thing now. So if RJ goes running back to Electra the second she has a fight with Will, that is going to be so messed up. Melissa is already working as his assistant, which is a terrible idea for a million reasons, but now she might get her heart broken too. I swear, if RJ ditches Melissa for Electra, I am going to scream at my television. And let's remember the history here. RJ and Electra had a real connection before Will came back into the picture. RJ was so respectful when Will and Electra reunited. He backed off. He was the good guy. He moved on with Melissa Dillon, who is so sweet and eager to please. Melissa has been working so hard, and she genuinely likes RJ. They had that beautiful night at the beach house, and it seemed like RJ was finally moving on from his heartbreak over Electra. But now that Electra is vulnerable and mad at Will, RJ is swooping right back in like a vulture. It makes me question his character. Is he really over Electra, or is Melissa just a placeholder until Electra becomes available again? But actually, I kind of want to see it happen. I know, I am a total hypocrite. I just said I would scream, but the drama would be so good. A full-blown love square between RJ, Melissa, Electra, and Will. Because remember, Melissa used to have a huge crush on Will too. It is also tangled and messy. And with all the corporate warfare happening between Forrester and Logan right now, this romantic drama is just the perfect cherry on top. The writers are definitely setting up a massive collision course for these four, and I cannot wait to watch the explosion. So when you look at the whole picture for tomorrow's episode, it is just chaos on every single level. The adults are acting like children, and the young adults are acting like, well, also children. But mostly I just cannot get over Brooke. I really can't. I keep thinking about her smashing that sign and shoving Katie. Who does that? It feels like the writers are pushing her into a really dark, unhinged place. And I am here for the drama, but I also just want someone to shake her and tell her to wake up and look at what she is doing to her daughter. And Hope. Man, Hope is going to have a rough few weeks. She won the fashion war. Her designs are a massive hit, but she is losing her family. It is the classic soap opera trope. You get everything you ever wanted in your career, but your personal life goes up in flames. She is going to have to lean hard on Liam and Deke and Katie because the Forrester side of the family is completely dead to her right now. And honestly, maybe that is for the best. Maybe she needs a break from that toxic environment for a while? I just keep thinking about how tired Hope looked when she was begging Brooke to understand. It was so raw. And it makes me wonder if Liam is going to step up and actually defend her to Brooke, or if he is just going to stand in the background. Liam has been supportive of the Logan move, but dealing with Brooke's wrath is a whole different ballgame. I really hope he stands by his wife because she needs an anchor right now. Her entire world is shifting, and the guilt is eating her alive. Okay, I need to wrap this up before I start rambling about Steffy again, because I don't even have the energy for Steffy today. We will save that rant for tomorrow. But seriously, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Is Brooke totally out of line? Is Ridge being ridiculous? Are RJ and Electra going to hook up behind Melissa's back? I need to know I am not the only one losing my mind over this storyline. Alright, I'm going to go get more coffee and try to process all this. See you guys after the episode airs.